Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Tumini with student number 2201421007. And now I will talk about racism against black people that occur in America. According to the Pramodia Anantathur, racism is an understanding that rejects a group of people based on their race, and in other words, having differences from the norms. According to the Human Rights and Equal Opportunity Commission, racism is an ideology that contributes to mythological statements about racial and ethnic groups that degrade those groups or communities. So, in simple terms, racism is a belief that one's own race is superior to other race. And racism can be caused by several factors such as number one is history of slavery. Slavery has occurred since the colonial era until the Civil War, leading to the oppression of black people in America or African American descendants, but benefiting white Americans. This slavery can cause black people to be viewed as inferior and lead to social inequality. And number two is discriminatory laws. The existence of Jim Crow laws in the 19th and early 20th centuries limited the freedom and rights of black people, thus creating an environment that restricts black people's access to voting rights, citizenship, housing, and the rest is education. Number three is stereotypes. Negative stereotypes about Africans and Americans, such as the belief that they are criminals or less capable. These stereotypes develop due to ignorance, fear, or even personal experiences that are not representative, and these stereotypes can develop through media and social environments. And number four is violence and discrimination. Example of violence and discrimination in America include cases of police shootings against black Americans, which are considered unfair due to the lack of proportionate punishment that can cause fear and distrust of the institution. And in addition, another case the frequent bias in the treatment of suspects, meaning that black people tend to be punished more severely and treated unfairly compared to white Americans, even for the same crimes. And this creates injustice in a justice system that should be fair to all American citizens. And discrimination might also occur in other fields such as education. Children from black families have limited access to quality education compared to children from white families. And this can reinforce the cycle of poverty and social inequality. And in housing, in housing, black people are limited to living in decent housing, and developing environment that can limit their economic opportunities. And the next is about the implication of racism in America. The first is a social and economic inequality. Racism can lead to inequality in access to education, employment, housing, and health services. In education, for example, children from black families have limited access to quality education. And in employment, there is a wage gap between black and white people. And in housing, black people find it difficult to find a safe, affordable, and quality housing. And in the field of health services, black people often receive low quality health services. And number two is injustice in the justice system. Uh, Black people often experiences unfairness in the justice system. They become targets by law enforcement, which can lead to their arrest, detention, and to receive harsh punishment, and often becomes victims of police violence. They will also have difficulty finding impartial justice due to bias that might exist in the justice system. With judicial injustice, it will make the institution not trust anymore. Number three is social tension. Racism can also cause social tension such as riots, protests, and social confrontation. Unresolved racial tension can lead to riots where social chaos, violence, and property destruction occur. An example of riots is the riot that occur after incident of people violence against black people in America. And the racism can also cause protests demanding justice and change. And the demonstration and protest action can occur in response to discriminatory action and violence from racism. And the tension between two races can lead to confrontation due to differences of opinion. And number four is distrust. Racism can lead to distrust between black and white people caused by their exclusion, neglect, or unfair treatment by other groups. Distrust between these two races can limit positive interaction and collaboration. And the last is to eradicate racism against black people in America. And things that can be done, in my opinion, are the first is incorporating curricula that study the history of racism, awareness of human rights, and the importance of diversity in the education system in America. With the education provided in school, it is hoped that the younger generation can learn to appreciate differences and understand the negative impact of racism. Number two is strengthening law that prohibit discrimination in all fields such as education, housing, employment, and health services. With strict law enforcement against human rights violence of human rights will decrease, thus providing protection for minority races such as black people who might often experience discriminatory treatment. And the last is collaboration between the government, NGO, and communities in developing anti-racism initiatives. This collaboration can take the form of designing an anti-racism education system, training and a public campaign aimed to increasing awareness of racism, strengthening relation between the black uh, race and white and black American. I think that's all for me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.